Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, will Kawhi Leonard finish this season as the best defensive player in the world? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro Premium community, which we are working on, guys. Trust me, we're working on it. Marco is working on it diligently, and we're trying to make sure that it's good to go before we launch. And also be on the lookout for Dreamerspro.com. Again, something I've mentioned maybe 1,000 times, but it never hurts to say it because in some of these videos, people are watching it for the first time. So this is usually for the people that probably seen us a few times, but also for the new people. So welcome to the channel. Let me get into the topic here. So y'all know Kawhi Leonard has always been known for his defense, right? He was drafted by, I think he was drafted by the Indiana Pacers. And I think it was traded to the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. I got to go back and kind of, make sure that's correct. But anyway, he started his basketball career playing with the San Antonio Spurs. In that system, went into a winning organization that had been used to winning championships, has some of the greatest players of all time in Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and these guys, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, who is the man, who was probably one of the best, players to ever come off the bench in the history of the NBA, sacrificed his game to win. Manu Ginobili and these guys. So he went into an organization that was all about winning, right? Kind of is reminiscent of the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. I kind of get that same feeling because with Gregg Popovich, you don't get to get away with a lot of foolishness. He seems like a disciplinarian. And when you come up in that type of system, you're going to be a disciplined player. And you can see that because Kawhi Leonard is fundamentally sound if we're just going to focus on the defensive end of the floor right now. So he came into the game as a defensive player, as a defensive guy, defensive-minded guy, right? That's really where he hung his hat. And as he grew, as time went on, he started to really develop as an offensive player. If I go and look at Kawhi Leonard's numbers here, let me see if I can pull them up. God, please, internet, don't fail me. Don't embarrass me. Yes, it didn't embarrass me. His first season in the NBA, he was averaging 8 points, and he jumped to 12 points, 13 points, 16 and a half, 21, 25. So he developed into a good offensive player. But on the defensive end of the floor, the guy came into the NBA and he was stellar, right? He was a stellar defensive player of the year. Defensive player. And he would go on to win a defensive player of the year award. Now, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up the year that he won the defensive player of the year award. Let me see when he did it, if I can find it here. For some reason, I cannot. Oh, wait, he won it in 2015 and 2016. So he won his defensive player awards, player of the year awards in back-to-back campaigns and back-to-back seasons. Now, let me get into Kawhi Leonard and let's talk about actually what makes this guy a great defensive player. Let's just actually dissect it for a minute. First of all, he has hands the size of, I don't know, like a giant or Bigfoot or something like this. This guy has some huge hands, right? There's a post going around on the Clippers Instagram, which is kind of funny. They got like these two, I don't even want to call it, you want to call it mitts. Is like he guys, those hands that you go to see, like when you go to a basketball game or what do you call it, like a general game, like a baseball game. Those big hands that you can put he has like these kind of hands, right? These hands that if he slaps you, man, at least 3 or 4 or 5 teeth are flying straight out of your mouth. He has huge hands. I'm being funny. It's probably true. Anyway, he has huge hands. He's very strong. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, he looks like one of these strong guys. Some guys, they have big muscles, but they're not really that strong. You ask them to do, 10 pull-ups in a row, they won't be able to do it. Kawhi Leonard looks like a very, very strong guy. So he has a lot of size. He's 6'7", but he seems very strong. He has some great defensive awareness and anticipation. If you see Kawhi Leonard some of his steals, a lot of it, he's just anticipating what other teams are going to do. And it's really incredible to see when this guy's on his defensive, like when he's playing defense at a high level. It's really amazing. But also he has some very quick hands and quick feet. You can have great anticipation, but if you're not quick and you don't have quick feet, you can't move laterally and stop and change direction. You're not going to be really that great, right? Because if a player can beat you in one step, if they can get past you, you're not going to be able to recover. But he's very good. He plays with a lot of balance. If you watch him guard smaller players that are very quick, they can usually beat him, but he's very good at keeping his balance and recovering. If you watch him, he may get off of balance, but he's able to plant his back foot and keep his center of gravity pretty low to be able to maintain his balance, and that helps him with his defensive stance. Another thing that makes Kawhi Leonard an exceptional defensive player is his ability to play defense without fouling, right? If you look at Pat Bev is an amazing defender, but he fouls a lot. He gets a lot of, ticky-tack fouls. Kawhi Leonard rarely does that. Sometimes when he does get called for a foul, it's like the ref just letting players off the hook, man, because otherwise if they didn't call fouls, he would just demoralize you. And I've seen him do that, a lot of the time. Also, is his IQ. What do I mean by his IQ? It helps when you know the playbook. It helps when you watch tape. It helps when you know the opposing players' tendencies, right? Because you can kind of anticipate things a little bit easier, but you can also kind of see plays develop before they happen. If you watched that game last night against the Kings, the guy had 6 steals, guys, but a lot of it was just anticipating what the other team was going to do. But also, I think the guy watches a lot of tape, and this is and also his ability to recover on defense. And because you could beat him, and usually Kawhi Leonard would still stick with a play and kind of either swipe the ball off of your hand, or you saw one play last night. The guy beat him. I think it was De'Aaron Fox beat him, and you thought he was going to go up for a layup, and he just went up there. Literally, it was actually crazy. It looked like a video game. All I saw was Kawhi Leonard just run up to the dude, grab the ball, and run. I was like, what? He just took the ball out of his hand with these mock pie mitts that he had. He just grabbed the ball like this and just ran off with the ball. And I was like, wow, this guy's incredible. Because he's such a great defensive player, it helped him win an NBA Finals MVP with the defense that he played against LeBron James, in the Miami Heat in the playoffs. But his defense is beginning to reflect on the team overall. As I said, the Clippers needed to focus on their defense and really start holding teams closer to the 100-point mark, and they're beginning to do that, which I love because they're capable of defending at a high level. They have fantastic on-the-ball defenders, some of the best one-position defenders in the NBA with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris, and these guys. They have some good rim protection with Serge Ibaka at the rim. So they're very good defensive team. They just need to be disciplined and play defense. Usually, it takes the Clippers usually 1 or 2 quarters to understand what the opposing team is doing offensively. Then in the third quarter, they usually turn up the heat. And then by the third and that early fourth quarter, that's when they usually blow you out. Go look at some of their wins. That's what usually happens. And listen, defense is contagious. Kawhi Leonard playing great defense is going to be contagious to his teammates. There's a highlight that you guys can go out there and check out where Ron Artest, Metta World Peace, when he was playing with Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, there was a game when he played against Carmelo Anthony, who was one of the most prolific scorers in the NBA. Go look at that video. Ron Artest was playing such great defense on Carmelo Anthony that it actually raised the intensity of his teammates because he was playing defense at such a high level. Kobe and these guys and Derek Fisher and these guys started playing great defense because defense is contagious because it's like energy, right? It's contagious. And once you start playing at a high level, your teammates, it begins to infect your teammates and they start playing with a high level because they want to kind of match your intensity. That's one of the things that I love about Patrick Beverley, that he gives his team on the defensive end. He may not be the best scorer, he may not be the best point guard, but his defensive intensity helps his teammate. Helps his teammates. They feed off of that. And to me, Kawhi Leonard is probably playing the best defense of any player at his position. If he keeps this up, he will definitely be one of the finalists for all first defensive team in the NBA. And if he continues it, he can win Defensive Player of the Year. Some people may not want to hear that. That's your business, really. He's done it twice before, so I don't see why he can't do it again. And man, if this guy got another Defensive Player of the Year award, my goodness, man, what a defensive player. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard this season will finish as the best defensive player in the NBA or not? Do you think it'll be somebody else? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.